So Starfield has an invisible wall problem. So let's talk about that. So this is just going to be a shortish video on the thing that has been happening over the last couple of days where someone has leaked footage of Starfield and we've seen that there are invisible walls on the planets. I'm not going to put the video footage in this video, but it's easy to find on the internet. It won't take you very long. But I'm not a game developer. I've got a mate who used to work for EA and who's still got mates that work for like Rare and things like that at the moment. And I've modded games on and off for the past 20 odd years. So I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. Not a great deal, but I know a bit. So footage has been leaked online of Starfield apparently having, well, not apparently, it has invisible walls on the planets. Now, Starfield is made on a new version of the creation engine, and all Bethesda's previous games, so Fallout 76, Fallout 4, Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, they all run on the creation engine, which itself is like an offshoot of an old engine called Gamebryo. So I believe that Starfield has inherited some tech debt. Unless Bethesda has made this new version of the engine from scratch, it's got to have inherited some kind of tech debt from the old engines. I put money on the fact that they haven't made this engine from scratch. So that's probably why it's got a limit to what it can load in at any one time. So nobody wants to see invisible walls. Everyone would rather have just an endless streaming landscape. Invisible walls are a massive pet hate of mine. I hate them. I would rather there would be like an impassable chasm or a massive mountain or something that you can't get past than just coming to a dead stop in the game saying, nah, you ain't going no further. I am, however, surprised that they haven't added the ability to just go into the next cell via like a loading screen when you get to the edge. Apparently you have to go back to your ship, take off again, and then go land somewhere else, and then it'll generate another cell for you to run around in. Now, these cells aren't tiny. These cells are apparently the same size as Fallout 4's entire map. So, that's quite big. And I know, I don't have to tell anybody that's played like the original Mass Effect, or No Man's Sky, or Elite Dangerous, that exploring a barren world where there is nothing gets boring pretty fast. Like, I like traversing barren planets, but there's only so much you can take before it gets pretty boring, and then you have to go back. Like in the case of Elite, you call your ship back in, and off you fly off and go somewhere else. No Man's Sky is exactly the same thing. Yes, it generates. I think you can run around the entire planet on No Man's Sky. I never tried, but just running around a planet where there isn't much happening, it's not fun. Like if you've played Mass Effect 1, you remember those planets where there's like 3 or 4 things on them, and you just drive around in the Mako, and there's just nothing. No Man's Sky, you get the same thing on No Man's Sky as well, where you're just running around and not much is really happening. You're zapping rocks and getting your resources, and then you're running off to the next rock or the next plant to destroy to get your resources. And eventually it just gets boring, and you go off and you get your ship and off you go somewhere else. Exactly the same thing on Elite Dangerous. You can land wherever you want, but then there's nothing there apart from rocks and the odd, like maybe you might come across the odd thing that's a bit different. Apart from that, it just generates points of interest for you to go and see, which is what I assume is going to be happening in Starfield as well. Like, Starfield has never been billed as like being a space simulator. They said from the start, you can't land on planets manually like you can in Elite or No Man's Sky. You can't just go down and run around wherever you want. I never got the impression from any of the pre-release footage that it was going to be a seamless, like, open world for you to run around and explore. Never got that from anything. I assumed it was always going to be like Mass Effect 2, where you select a point on the planet, and then you load into that bit, and then you run around that bit, and then when you're done, you get back in your ship, and you go somewhere else, and you maybe drop into another part on the planet, and off you go. That's kind of similar to Elite Dangerous, and if memory serves, No Man's Sky as well, where if you know where a base is, you go and land at that point, and then you go and do something, and then you disappear and go somewhere else. I don't think our Lord God Emperor Todd Howard, or the Emperor, ever actually said that you can just land and then go run around the entire planet. Plus, why would you even want to? It makes no sense to me. Where is all this hate coming from? This hate is coming from salty PlayStation fanboys and all the shit posters you see on Twitter and the shit posters who post shit videos on YouTube. This is not a problem. There's going to be plenty for you to do in Starfield without you needing to run or drive around. You can't even drive because there's no vehicles. Without you wanting to run around an entire planet. So the way the creation engine works is every world space in the creation engine game is classed as a cell. So if you think back to Fallout 4 or Fallout 76 or Skyrim, when you are in like the overworld, that is one big gigantic cell. If you then go into, let's say, Diamond City or Whiterun or something, that is then loading another cell. So when you land somewhere on a planet in Starfield, that is loading a cell, which is, from what I can gather, procedurally generated. So in theory, no two people should ever see the same landscape on the same planet at the same place, from what I can gather. I haven't played the game yet. I'm playing it in, when's it out? So I'll be playing it like everybody else in early access in 3 days time. So we'll find out then. But all the people making this such a big, massive issue, it's really not a massive issue. If you think it's a massive issue, you're a fanboy. End of story. It really is a non-issue. With a cell that's being generated being the size of Fallout 4's entire Commonwealth map, you don't need something that's bigger than that. You will get bored of exploring that area if there's not much there quite quickly, and you will get in your ship and you will go and fly somewhere else. If that's another point on the planet, or you'll go to another planet, whatever. If you're just down there, from what we can gather, these barren planets are just there for resource gathering, and maybe they might hand place the odd little thing here and there. But for the most part, these planets are procedurally generated. Pete Hines has come out the other day and said in an interview that players will be able to mod their own planets. So this isn't going to be a problem. Modders like myself will be able to go out and make entire new planets fill packed with stuff if that's what we want to do. Like Nexus has already got a page set up for Starfield ready to go when it drops in a few days time. Yeah, we won't be able to properly mod it until the creation kit is launched, but we'll still be able to mod it. There'll be texture mods and little hacks here and there. They'll come out straight away. So this whole like invisible wall thing will disappear into the background and everyone will forget about it. And the only place you'll be hearing about it is from salty PlayStation fans who for some reason restrict themselves to one platform so they can't play the newest, hottest stuff from Bethesda. That's your problem. That's your prerogative, isn't it? If you want to do that, then you won't limit yourself to one system. Crack on. You ain't playing the big games from Bethesda anymore, though, are you? No, because Microsoft bought them. Eat shit. Looking forward to this game coming out in a couple of days' time. That's all we got to wait. It's a couple of days to wait, people, and we can all enjoy the greatness that is Starfield. Yes. If you like this video, there's a button for you to press specifically for that purpose. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing as well, that'd be badass. Up here you can see our latest video. It might be me playing Fallout. It might be one of these news type videos. It might be Von playing Fable. I don't know. And down here is another video. Again, I don't know how YouTube decides what this is, but give it a click and have a watch. Right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.